lead.
We have a tag?
Within the first 48 hours.
Man, what an obsession.
This house is possessed.
A Memorial Day weekend.
No, wait. Don't be smart ass. Don't, okay? That's right.
Are you sweating?
Quiet,
You're sweating.
Quiet.
You're sweating.
Quiet.
Sergeant Joe Shalacy of Miami PD's Homicide Unit takes advantage of this rare time off to relax with his wife, Evelyn.
Want to play another game? Come on.
Man, I pulled out the wrong one.
Meanwhile, in South Beach, it's Hip Hop Week. At 1 a.m., a call for help comes from a car on the interstate.
I'm now on emergency before the gunshot wound on the highway. My friend was shot and came through the back window. Okay, where are you now? We're trying to find the hospital. We gotta get the hospital. I need you to pull over so a rescue can get to you.
I got called out.
Are you serious?
I'll be there shortly. Okay, you got it. Memorial Day weekend is just incredibly busy for South Beach. All the hip hop groups, all the kids from, all over South Florida come. People are drinking. People get very irresponsible. Some crazy things happen. All we have so far is somebody who has been shot and is deceased outside of a vehicle on a residential street.
Okay, I'll be there in about 2 minutes.
Detective Olga Rome, a key member of Sergeant Shalacy's squad, also heads to the crime scene.
Unfortunately, for some reason, most murders occur in the wee hours of the morning, well into your sleep. You hear chirp, chirp from the next tail. And all you can say is, I usually tell my Sarge, no, Sarge. And he said, yes, we got one. And that's what happened. Good morning.
Good morning, sunshine.
What's up, Sarge?
How's it going, man? You tired?
The other members of the squad arrive on the scene. Detective Freddie Ponce and Detective Tony Migueles.
We are here. We are together. We are ready.
Let's do it.
Okay, this is what we got so far. 2 cars are at the off-ramp to 395. An altercation ensues between the 2 vehicles. Somebody from the offending vehicle fires 1 round, striking our victim in the head. 1 penetrating hole, 1 shot.
Dressed for the holidays. Have a good time. No. Ponce, you got his name? Okay, Malcolm Jamar Marshall. Wow. This kid is 1 month from his 21st birthday.
Malcolm Marshall, a student at Miami-Dade Community College, came from a tight-knit family. He was planning to marry his high school sweetheart as soon as he could afford to buy her a ring.
Who do we have at the station? We got witnesses at the station?
We've got the 3 guys
That was inside the
car, and they're at the station.
Beautiful. We've got a young man in his early 20s laying in the street with a bullet hole in his head, and us left with this huge puzzle to put together for that young man's family.
2 hours into the investigation, Shalacy and Detective Ponce head to Homicide to interview the victim's friends, witnesses to the crime.
If you really, truly care about this guy, and you really want to see justice served, please don't talk to each other. Please. Because if you do, what happens is everything that you say to each other becomes contaminated, and we cannot use it. It's done. It's over. The case is over.
I need you to go over this with me again, exactly what happened,
Right away, Ponce gets a big break.
Did you get a chance to see the tag at all? What kind of tag it was? Fantastic.
For the license plate thing? Is that right?
Olga, great news. Guess what?
We have a tag?
It's a white Chevy Tahoe, new one with rims.
Wow. This is great.
Rome sends out a bolo, a be on the lookout for the white SUV.
Road of 5 Avenue, the offenders were 4 black males. Advisory fled in a white SUV. Had a tag of X-ray 71.
Now police must search for the killer on one of Miami's busiest weekends of the year. In a quiet neighborhood on the outskirts of Miami, a frantic woman calls 911.
City Miami Police to find out for the scene of an emergency. You need the police? Yes, please. What happened? I just came to my home. I'm the owner of this house. I think there's somebody dead inside the house. Okay, why do you think that? Because please, I know there's somebody dead inside this house.
Hold the scene there. We'll be responding. We'll meet you out there. It looks like we just picked up a homicide. All right. Let's head out there. I'll get rolling into people.
27-year veteran Sergeant Carlos de los Santos responds to the call.
I actually live 6-7 blocks away from where this actual homicide occurred. You're the primary officer? Who lives here? At that
a doctor.
At that apartment?
A doctor, based on what she told me.
Caridad Herrera, the 911 caller who discovered the body, was the victim's landlord and a close friend.
The victim calls Caridad Herrera every day on a daily basis. After 3 or 4 days of him missing a call, she found it very suspicious. The other renter on the west side tells her, listen, I've been smelling foul odor. So today she gets here and there's a body on top of the bed. ¿Cómo se llama?
De Dr. Pineda. Jesus Pineda.
Jesus Pineda, a 50-year-old internist from Cuba, worked as a physician's assistant in local clinics for years. He lived in the house alone. The homicide detectives let the crime scene investigators carefully document the scene to preserve any potential evidence.
I really haven't been inside the scene. I'm letting crime scene do everything that they need to do before we go inside.
It smells awful in here. In fact, you can probably see the flies that have been gathering for dinner.
Almost 3 hours pass before De Los Santos can get a full look at the crime scene.
Lázaro, we taped the entire inside of the house?
Yeah.
Looking at the condition of the victim's body, it seems like he was murdered 2 to 3 days ago. We don't know if he's got any trauma. We really can't tell just by looking at the body what the cause of death is.
Meanwhile, detectives Rolando Garcia and Fernando Bosch uncover a possible lead. The doctor's Cadillac is nowhere to be found.
I have to assume that the doctor had a car. His car.
No, it's not. It's a black car.
It's missing.
It's missing.
First thing we need to do is have a hold on. Here it is. And he has a black caddy. There it is. It's registered.
Listen, need to set out a bolo, reference 31 at 440 15 Road. Okay, bolo for 94 Cadillac, tag number 88, Kilo Zulu Juliet. If they come in contact with the vehicle, do not molest. Hold for homicide.
Back in the CSI Mobile Center, De Los Santos makes a startling discovery in the footage of the scene. Voodoo-like shrines.
It looks like the victim is into the Santeria religion. It's a mixture of African religion with saints from the Catholic Church. We need to really look into his Santeria altar to find out what was going on with his life recently.
The friends of 20-year-old shooting victim Malcolm Marshall have provided Sergeant Joe Shalacy and his team with a crucial lead: the make and the license plate of the killer's vehicle.
3132.
We got it, Papa.
Get out of town. Hold on one second, okay, Sarge?
Got the offender.
They got the vehicle and 5 offenders. Flex cuffed and the vehicle and 5 impounds.
Oh.
What do you want?
Oh, this is not happening, girl.
Are you listening? That vehicle needs to get processed, obviously.
Yeah.
Hold that vehicle, hold them people.
Hold everything there and...
Everything is locked down right there. It just seems too impossible to be true that after they put a bullet in this kid's brain, they nonchalantly continue to go to South Beach to celebrate the holiday weekend.
They already know how happy we are.
2 Miami-Dade officers spotted the white SUV while working a traffic detail in South Beach.
Okay, Officer Busquet observed the vehicle, tells me, look, that looks like the subject vehicle. He confirms the tag. I get in my car, and we start following him north. And we approach the vehicle, and I remove the driver out of the vehicle.
Wake me up, please. I think I'm dreaming. Wake me up, pinch me something. Well, we're pretty sure these are our guys. Now we just have to figure out which one is our killer. Right now what they're doing is a GSR, which is a gunshot residue test.
Don't wipe them, don't wipe them.
If you fired a gun, then the residue would still be on your hands, sometimes even on your clothing.
See, you been shooting? Tell the truth. See, I've been shooting. The gun been shooting.
That's what this test is about.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
The bottom line is, we got 3 witnesses, but they're not offenders. They're not co-defendants. They're witnesses. Because they can always say, I didn't know that stupid motherfucker was going to do that shit. You know?
That's what they're going to say, too. Exactly what they're going to say.
That's exactly what they're going to say.
Yeah, we'll finish everyone with the GSR photo.
CSI Arnold Yen searches the SUV for any evidence that can link the suspects to the shooting.
It looks like there's 4 live bullets in 1 spent casing. We have recovered a firearm. This is looking very good. I will answer your questions. You have my word until we get to the station. I will do whatever I can for you. I love to study how people act and how they think and how they talk.
All yours.
People have a subtle way of giving you hints about how they feel if you just watch them. Watch your head, Papa.
6 hours gone, Shalacy and his team take the 4 suspects to homicide. The pressure is on to determine who killed Malcolm Marshall. In their investigation of Dr. Jesus Pineda's murder, Sergeant Carlos de los Santos and his team have made a startling discovery: 2 voodoo-like shrines in the victim's closets. But they don't know if the doctor's belief in the Santeria religion had anything to do with the murder. 5 hours in, the team's only lead is his missing black Cadillac.
Fernie, are we reporting the vehicle as a 22, right? Yep. The Cadillac? No. Where is his car? Where is the victim's car? It's supposed to be here and it ain't. That's the most puzzling thing for me right now. I really would like to find out where the victim's car is at.
Right now, we're checking all the possibilities out. We're taking fingerprints, and let's see if we get some leads.
Yeah, we're still at the scene. Just called the doctor right now. The doctor's on the way.
The medical examiner arrives to establish the cause of death.
We haven't seen any trauma, but then again, we haven't really looked close.
Now, do you want to finish the examination at the MER department tonight? Yeah. Oh, my. Hi, Hector. Hi, Jeffrey.
Looks like it's tied around his neck, possibly in his mouth. It's a whole bunch of neckties right there, right? That's what it looks like?
Yeah.
From what I saw in the bedroom, it looks like they went through some of the drawers. We don't know if they just went through that looking for money or jewelry or whatever, or they were just looking for something to tie him up with. I'm here at the scene of the homicide with the doctor. The doctor's requesting removal.
The more experienced people are standing outside because when they move that body, it's going to stink to high heaven. So as a supervisor, I will remain out here and guard the door.
Sí, para saludarme, que qué sé yo, porque yo creo que él me dijo en alguna ocasión que él había trabajado en la clínica de él.
En algún momento él le mencionó a usted dónde vivía.
This is part of the same shirt that was cut off on the bed.
Right. But it's like, it wouldn't leave any marks.
Taking it off later.
Hopefully the doctor will be able to come up with some leads as to how the victim died. Because right now we have nothing.
In addition to the ligature around his mouth and neck, there was a gag in his mouth, which consisted of part of the shirt that was beside the body on the bed. And it certainly looks like probably an asphyxial death.
The news of the doctor's murder has reached his cousin and the owner of the clinic where he worked.
Malas condiciones, porque ya el cuerpo sí, sí. Una otra cosa que yo no le preguntaba, ¿usted cree que sea importante?
Creo que él me dijo en alguna ocasión.
The clinic owner told me that the doctor was gay and that he was involved in an abusive relationship with a guy by the name of Michael. She told me that there were times when the doctor came into work and he had bruises. When she asked him, he would like play it down, but she knew it was Michael.
¿En algún momento él le mencionó a usted dónde vivía Michael?
Por la clínica.
Right now we have a lot of loose ends in this investigation. We need to locate his car. His car is missing. We need to find out who this Michael is.
10 hours gone. The murder remains a mystery. The key to solving it may be hidden in the doctor's Santeria shrines.
We would surely like to know if the victim's religion will help us answer some of these questions.
Right now, we're going to contact some of our experts in the field of Santeria and voodoo and all that, and see with what we have here, what does that mean?
In the murder investigation of Dr. Jesus Pineda, Sergeant De Los Santos and his team have identified a potential suspect, the victim's alleged boyfriend, Michael.
Missing boyfriend?
Suspect. They now hope the key to cracking the case lies with the 2 Santeria shrines discovered in the doctor's closets, as the first 48 continues to slip away. The morning after the discovery of the body, crime scene investigator Hector Infante continues his search for leads in the victim's house.
Yesterday we did the processing as far as fingerprinting. Now comes the tedious work of the going through drawers, going through closets, going through pieces of paper, going through photographs and putting stuff together.
Handcuffs? Did we find handcuffs?
Fellow CSIs Andy Betancourt and Laz Fernandez get their first look at the second shrine.
In here?
Yeah.
No, I didn't look in there. Wow.
Damn. What the hell does that mean? You think that's a real skull? What are we doing, Hector?
Oh, good. I don't have to be in here for this.
No, yeah. Go do the pot.
I'm not going to take that car apart.
Why?
Because I'm not going to touch that, because I believe in that shit, and I ain't going to touch it.
Dr. Carlos, get one of the detectives to do
wait
it.
a second. Yo sí que eso no lo tocan. I'm sorry. I'm a Catholic, and this is like a Catholic religion also. I just respect it like I would respect any other religion, and I don't want to go in through that cauldron. That's why one of my co-workers is going to go through it, and I ain't going to mess with that stuff.
You got a cauldron. These cauldrons look like what you might see with the Wicked Witch of the West. And in there they have handcuffs and stuff, and they might have actually real bones in there, real blood. Sometimes you come across real skulls, human skulls in these.
Do we have a name on the victim?
Ritualistic crime experts from the Miami-Dade PD are called in to interpret the Santeria shrines.
We got the saints up there. We haven't touched that. We don't know what's in that one.
No mayor.
Okay, right in here.
Where's the rest of the saints? You're missing a load of saints, friend, somewhere.
Oh man, hold it.
No, see this?
Hold it.
On dishes hidden underneath a shelf, they discover Michael's name written on pieces of paper.
This guy.
Is that a tooth?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Doesn't smell like honey. Whatever's in here is not honey.
It might be honey with.
Honey, that's piss.
You think?
Yeah. I know the smell of piss.
That's piss.
That's piss.
You've been pissing for many years, huh?
I've been pissing for many years. But that's urine in there.
What's the urine used for?
Huh?
What's the urine used for?
Controlar.
Control?
Yeah. Any of the bodily fluids? Aplacar, controlar. No? That kind of stuff.
The experts move down the hallway and focus their attention on the second shrine. They find more evidence of the victim's infatuation with Michael.
Okay. Hello, baby.
Some underwear.
Down here, I don't know if you can get it. With the handcuffs, you got his name here, again, possibly with honey. Well, he's got somebody else over here, Ochosi. Remember, Ochosi is the true
Warrior of love.
God of love, yes. Huh, looks like your guy again. See him over here?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
That's what you use if you want to do a love thing. A love spell?
Yeah.
This is Ochosi is who you should really use to do a love spell. I want to find out what's in the shoe.
I will tell you right away. Man, what an obsession. What a major obsession.
Some of the doctor's Santeria spells suggest his obsession with Michael took a darker turn.
If you notice on this one, he wrote his name and scratched it out like he wanted to obliterate it. Somewhere along the line, this little partnership that he wanted, he didn't want no more.
Yeah,
And he's trying to get rid of it.
He's trying to get rid of it.
He's trying to get rid of it big time. The underwear is indicative of love spells, control spells. You have one piece of underwear where the penis area was cut out, which is symbolic castration, that kind of stuff, control. Okay, and if this guy is a true believer and he felt that he was trying to be controlled and he found out about it, anything can happen.
Telling me, he's been trying to get rid of him. There's a little bit of a dark side to this Santeria rituals. In several of places we found Michael's name as if the doctor was trying to do some kind of a trabajo, they call it, a curse.
Depending on
With the first 48 half gone, the CSI team searches for any DNA that can connect Michael to the crime scene.
We're going to look for some trace evidence with this on the sheets and the mattresses and all the other stuff. Damn, there's stains all over this thing. What is that? The skin and hair. It keeps shutting down? There he goes again. Our laser keeps shutting down. Brand new. It hasn't been running on very long. It has only 7 hours of life on it. So it shouldn't be turning off.
Se ha dado cuenta.
I've never had this happen.
This house is possessed.
The investigation into the murder of college student Malcolm Marshall continues. Sergeant Joe Shalacy and Detective Olga Rome take their 4 main suspects back to headquarters for questioning.
Gentlemen, welcome to my home.
It's 8 a.m.
Breakfast.
They haven't stopped working since getting the call 7 hours ago.
Haven't even had a cup of coffee. I'm about to fight somebody.
Yeah, that's right. Jonesing for coffee.
One of the people that were inside of that car is a suspect. And you got people that are inside of the car that's saying they didn't do anything and I just want to go home. So what that tells you is that, you know, whatever you ask, they're going to tell you. You probably won't have to ask much at this point. They know what happened, but they're not sure of how serious it is.
Shalacy and Rome begin to interview the suspects. They need to find the trigger man.
Okay, you're the driver?
Yeah.
So you asked me what this case is about. Mr. Malcolm Marshall was to turn 21 years old next month. He will not be enjoying life. He will not be waking up. Malcolm was shot and he was killed. Now, what I need you to do is to tell me what happened.
We riding down the highway, we talk with everybody we passed, but it wasn't like really talking just like, hey baby, what's up, this and that, down.
There's another vehicle that you guys pull up alongside and you have some words are exchanged.
But he had some words, I ain't.
Who?
Lump.
Lump did?
Yeah, he the only one changing words.
Nobody else?
Yeah, everybody else just riding, chilling. Next thing you know, he was shot like, ah! And now I look back.
Okay.
So I see the gun and Lump left. So I'm like, damn, cuz you gotta get out of here with that, ain't it? You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. Did you know that he shot somebody?
Nope.
Did he tell you he shot somebody?
Nope.
You sure?
I'm positive.
After interviewing all of the suspects, except for the man they call Lump, the detectives exchange notes.
From the way they're talking, they're not going to jail for whoever did it.
They don't know that they shot anybody.
No, they didn't know.
That's why they were hanging out
They-
on the beach.
They didn't know. They all cried. Everybody cried and shaking and stuff. When I said that man is dead, this is serious. He like, I want my mama. I want my mama. Please call my mama. I want my mama. I was looking at him, I was like, you want your what? Your mama?
He said that.
You can talk to your mama when I finish talking to you. Now, what you want to be? You want to be a witness or you want to be an accessory? And I ain't got all day. Clock's ticking.
The driver, the front passenger, and the left rear passenger all point to one person as the trigger man, 38-year-old Willie Lump Lumsden.
Hey, let's do this guy next. Stand up, Papa.
Lumsden was sitting in the back seat on the passenger side, the same spot where the gun was found.
He's been through the system. He's got a 44-page report. He's got an incredible past. Okay, make yourself comfortable.
Lumsden has been arrested 22 times since 1987.
Possession of cocaine, possession of a weapon, aggravated assault on a police officer, and you can just see the graduation.
So are you willing to talk to us without an attorney present?
Yes, ma'am. But what are you talking about?
We're talking about, this is an investigation into a shooting.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what this is.
Homicide?
Yes.
Somebody was killed?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're in the primary stages of our investigation now.
When the guy got killed, show me a picture where he did it.
Oh, you think we bull you?
No.
Really?
We work homicide.
This is not
This is a homicide unit.
He doesn't know that he shot anybody yet. He doesn't know how serious this is.
Anybody in the truck that you were riding didn't have any problems with anybody on the road or anything like that? You recall that?
No, I don't recall.
You don't recall any argument or?
Before I left there, I was asleep. I slept all the way.
That's not what happened. This right here, this is not the truth. And this ain't gonna help you. This is just gonna make you look like a hard ass. You know.
No, but I ain't did no shooting.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna tell you what to say. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. But I will tell you this. This is from my heart. If you do the right thing, and if you show that you're doing the right thing, and you're honest, it will look a lot better for you. It will be a lot better for you and your family.
At Dr. Jesus Pineda's murder scene, crime scene investigators have recovered DNA samples and sent them to the lab. As they wait for the results, Sergeant Carlos de los Santos and his team try to track down the potential suspect, Michael, as the first 48 enters its final hours.
The faster we get this guy, the better it's going to be for us. He's our prime suspect for now, but there's no guarantees that it's him. Are you guys ready?
The team splits up to search for Michael. De los Santos and Detective Rolly Garcia drive to where the suspect works, while Detectives Fernando Bosch and Orlando Silva check out a possible home address.
We want to pick him up and see what he has to say.
There it is, medical center. Let me get my gun. I don't know who the f is in there.
How are you? Detective Bosch, Detective Silva, on homicide. Let me get his shirt on.
Neither lead pays off. Michael is nowhere to be found.
Let's regroup at the station. I'll see you in the office.
The detectives try getting in touch with Michael's relatives.
Silva from Miami.
Garcia calls Michael's aunt.
Quédame con Michael. Soy un amigo del que vino a Nueva York y el celular no lo contesta. ¿Aló? Hey, Joey.
To his surprise, he gets Michael.
¿Aló? ¿Aló? Si no me escucha, yo te llamo para atrás. ¿Aló?
He's at the QTH, bro.
What happened?
And I acted like the phone was dead, that I had lost him, and I had lost him. I said, I'll call you back if you can hear me. I'll call you back.
It was him?
Yeah, it was him.
You want to make it over there?
Making time.
Man, look at the traffic.
I know. I think we should start heading out there.
The detectives head to Michael's aunt's house in the neighboring city of Hialeah to try to intercept him before he leaves.
Oh, it's too much traffic that way.
But the weather isn't cooperating.
Better take off your shoes. Thank you. Oh my God, you know what? I'm gonna get stuck here.
Come on, just turn. Here.
Look at grandma's.
Joey, grandma's outside with a broom.
Anda buscando a Michael.
Bueno, Michael.
Michael is not there. But from his aunt, the detectives get his cell phone number.
I need to talk to you. Where are you at now? And I'll explain to you person to person. Hold on 1 second. Let me write that down, all right?
He lawyered up over the phone.
He lawyered up. Oh, he's there? Over the phone. What did he say?
He said, who's this? I want to know who's this right now. Well, this is Detective Silva and Detective Bosch. We need to talk to you. I can't do this over the phone. Come over here now. So, well, no, if you want to talk to me, you're going to have to contact my attorney. Here we go. Call the attorney right now. Hello? Yes, sir. No, this is Detective Silva from Miami Homicide. Counsel, all we need to do is talk to your client. Can we possibly do this today? Let me talk to my client. And if he tells me he didn't kill anybody today, I guess I'll call you back.
All right, what's plan B? Station?
Without any evidence against their suspect,
It's all circumstantial.
I understand that.
the detectives have no choice but to work on his terms. With the end of the first 48 fast approaching, the detectives need to talk to Michael Only then will they know if they are on the right track to solving Dr. Pineda's murder.
To say the very least, we are in a jam.
In the murder of 20-year-old Malcolm Marshall, the main suspect, Willie Lump Lumsden, continues to deny he's the killer, but Sergeant Joe Shalacy isn't giving up yet.
I've got to be able to break down that barrier, build a trust, get him to trust me, to tap into something within him that he trusts me, to get him to confess to me.
I see right through you, and it frustrates me because I don't want to see you ruin the rest of your life. Okay?
I try to look at something, even if it's something so minute, something so small, but something that's positive. And I try to tap into that positiveness to build this rapport.
Because I know you're sorry. I've seen it. I can see it. I know you're sorry. I know you do that.
I don't know if you got killed.
I'm so close. I'm so close to him. I know he wants to confess. He's giving me indications.
You got a good heart. I can't bring it back. Can't bring it back. You can't bring it back. I can't bring that shot, dog. It's over. I know you feel bad for it.
It was a mistake. Mistake cost you your life. Called me and called him.
Lumsden says that he was retaliating for a bottle thrown from Malcolm's car. Lumsden claims he intended to shoot above Malcolm's car to scare them.
In the air? Yeah. Thank you.
After only 13 hours, Shalacy's team has the case wrapped up. In the first 48, Shalacy and his team learned Malcolm Marshall was shot while riding with friends on Interstate 395. They quickly discovered the deadly shot came from a white SUV, soon stopped with 4 suspects inside. 3 of the men point to Willie Lumsden as the shooter. Lumsden confesses to the murder.
Oh my God. It's solved. It feels right nice. I don't remember when I felt so good.
Good luck, man.
All right.
Not only has he ruined these people's lives, but he's got family too that he's going to be taken away from. More than likely for the rest of his life. For nothing. For absolutely nothing. Senseless, totally senseless.
The murder investigation of Dr. Jesus Pineda has reached a critical point. Their potential suspect, Michael, has finally agreed to talk to Sergeant De Los Santos and Detective Bosch.
When was the last time you saw the doctor?
I saw the doctor.
Michael claims the last time he saw the doctor was a week ago.
We went to a function on South Beach.
He denies being gay and claims he and the doctor were just friends.
My relationship is completely professional.
On the day of the murder, Michael says he was with his girlfriend. After an hour of questioning, Michael's alibi appears to be strong.
Michael, thank you very much for your cooperation. Sorry to...
The detectives let him go.
We're not going to longer consider Michael our suspect. His story checks out. He was with his girlfriend the day we feel that the doctor was murdered. We're back to square one.
They already got ID and drugs to the scene.
In the first 48, the detectives discovered Dr. Jesus Pineda hogtied on his bed. They learned the doctor had an obsession with his friend, Michael. Santeria shrines revealed this obsession had a dark side. But after tracking down and interviewing Michael,